Hello, how are you? My name's Samantha, this is the Khaos and Kismet podcast. This is my little place on the internet where I talk about all the crafty things I've been up to. Usually I record weekly. That's been a little bit iffy this last few weeks because I've been moving house. Today I'm a day late. This was meant to go up yesterday, but I had sick kids and a lot of running around today yesterday, and I just did not have the time or the energy to record. So we're here today. That's the important thing. This is a predominantly yarny podcast. I am a multi-crafter. I mostly crochet and knit, but I also do sew. I cross stitch, and I'm starting to glare off my glasses. The light in here is so weird. I cross stitch, embroidery, sewing, quilting, all sorts of stuff. My cross stitch and embroidery I have now moved onto its own separate thing. The embroidery I'm not sure. The cross stitch I've moved into its own floss tube. So that's on there, and I'm doing those. I started last week, which was quite well received. People seem to like them. A vloggy style, like record a little bit every day and then spin a wheel to see what project I'm going to work on that day, because I am terrible at making decisions. So I put them all on a wheel. I'm spinning that every day and doing a little mini vlog to show you what I've done the day before and to spin to see what I'm going to do for the day. And that seems to be going quite well. I'm quite enjoying it. It's good fun. So we have those. They'll be going up on Fridays. On Sundays we have my Stitching Library. This week's one was late. That went up yesterday. One of the things I'm going to show you today is from Stitching Library yesterday. So I'll do what I usually do on these is I'll just give you a quick little, this is the thing. And then if you want the details on it, you just go back and watch the Stitching Library. They're not on for very long. Right, let's see. I have a lot to get through, but not a lot of time because I need to go and pick up. I have one child off sick, the other child is at school, and I need to go and pick him up and take him to buy new shoes because he's left his shoes at his dad's and he won't be back at his dad's for 2 weeks. And I do not have the time or the energy to do a 3-hour round trip to go and pick up shoes for him. So, and God forbid his dad should do it. So I'm going to go and buy my new pair of shoes. And I also need to go to the post office and I need to walk the hound. So let's start off with what I'm wearing, because this is a look I'm aware. It's because when I'm going out, I've got like my little jacket here. Just like one of these little zip up hoodie things. And because I get really, really warm when I'm out, I don't want to be wearing a big, massive winter coat. So what I do is I wear a little one with a t-shirt and then I'll wear something like this. And because it goes down my back, and then I fold it up and do it like that and have it underneath my jacket, and then it looks just like I'm wearing a little scarf, but it keeps me a little bit warmer because it's got quite cold now. So anyway, that's why I'm wearing this, because I'm literally leaving as soon as I'm finished recording. This is the Italian Winter Shawl by Francesca, who is the Italian knitter. She has a YouTube channel and she has lots and lots of patterns. It's a free pattern. I've spoken about this before on a previous podcast. If I can find which one it is, I will link it, but I don't know if I'll be able to A, remember to do that, and B, find it. But it's just, if you go on Ravelry, look up the Italian knitter, or go on YouTube and look up the Italian knitter, you'll find her. She's lovely. Her podcast is really good. You should watch that. She only knits, but she knits some beautiful things. And yeah, so this was made from a blanket kit, or part of a blanket kit. And it's just a really, really nice, easy knit. She has lots and lots of free patterns that are kind of similar. So this is the Italian winter. She also has an Italian summer, spring. There's a shawlette. I don't know what else she's got. She's got quite a few patterns. So yeah, that's this one. What else do I have? My thing from Stitching Library yesterday. My little Kokeshi doll. She's so cute. She's been living up here next to my penguin. Look. This little penguin was made by Jenny. Yay! Look how cute he is. From Stitchcraft Yarns, who I know I mention all the time because she's lovely. and she made this. And I won it in a competition on her channel. She also has a YouTube channel. You should absolutely go and watch her. And he just lives up there. And this is Poppy. I'm not taking her down because she's very top heavy and very difficult. But I made her, I wonder actually. Oh, there you go. If I zoom out a little bit, you can see her. So this is Poppy. I used to make these dolls. I used to make lots of dolls. I'm going to zoom back in again because we do not need to see the extent of how bad this room is right now. I'm still working on just unpacking boxes and trying to sort stuff out. And this is like the central dumping ground for let's put the boxes here and then move the stuff from here to the other places. That's apparently what this room has now become. Which is great because this is also my workroom and I'm trying to work around it. Which means I haven't done any sewing this week because there is no space for me to sew. I will be doing some sewing this week though. That is my plan, is over the next couple of days to get some sewing done. Right, let's see, what else have we got to show you? Crochet doll, Stitcher Library yesterday. If you want details on that, go and watch yesterday's video. The other things that I've got have just been granny stitch stuff really. I've got this blanket, which is the last blanket from the charity blankets thing that I spoke about last time, where my local yarn shop just gave me a big massive bag of blanket yarn and said, here, make a lap blanket. So this is blanket number 3 from that. This stuff's quite a bit thicker than the other one. It's really nice. Not much to say about it. It's just a plain granny blanket. I don't know what the yarn is because everything came without labels. So I just need to sew all the ends in on these now. And then I'll take them up to her. There's a knit and natter on tomorrow morning. So hopefully the child will be feeling better by tomorrow and be back at school. And I'll be able to go to the knit and natter and I'll be able to take all the blankets with me. So that'll be fine. It'll be the very first knit and natter that I've ever been to because they didn't have them where it was before. Like, I didn't have them in Wolverhampton. And yeah, I'm excited. So there we go. It's just a plain granny stitch. Just keep going till you run out of yarn. So continuing with the granny stitch theme, I made myself a little cowl. So we have this. And I'm just now realising, because what I did was I made it a little bit tighter up here, then a little bit looser down here. Can you see how it flares out? But then that means that my granny stitches are upside down. So we're just going to go with it. It's a look. Obviously I haven't sewn my ends in. This yarn is so soft. I wanted it to be around my neck. I had taken this out originally to put into a blanket that I was making. The ripple blanket that I showed last time. But this yarn is so much softer. I mean, the acrylic yarn I'm using for the blanket is super soft acrylic because I only use acrylic that's nice. But this is like another level kind of soft. Is it actually acrylic? Yeah, it is. That one's acrylic and this one is... I'm sure it probably tells me somewhere. Oh yeah, it does, 100% acrylic. Now, I got these two yarns. We have this one, Peter Pan Pixie DK, 100 grams, and also Peter Pan Pixie DK, 100 grams. Exactly the same, but very, very different labels. This one was the grey one, which is shade 3128. And this says 225 metres and 246 yards for the grey. This one was the pink one, which I'll show you again in a minute. and this is colour 3121. And where is the yardage on this one? And this one also says 225 metres and 246 yards. So I made this cowl, and I literally did a row of DC's, granny stitch. I made one set of increases to widen it out a bit so it sits down instead of it just sitting straight up and down on my neck and then bunching here. It sort of flares out a little at the bottom. Sorry, my phone. There we go. In fact, I can probably put it on and show you. So this one's for me. Just ignore all the ends. So see, it just sits a little bit nicer around the neck because it's not so flat. There we go. And it's quite tall, but not super tall because, again, I get very, very warm. I'm going to be 44 in a few weeks, you know. I don't feel it. Apparently I don't look it either. I'm mistaken for a student. And with what was left on this, I made a hat. And all I've done with this is held it double and marled it. See the pink and the grey. And then just done like a crab stitch border thing. Sorry, you have to excuse the hair. Oh, throwing it all over the place. I've not thrown it in the dryer yet. It is super soft, but it's just got a tiny little bit of a anyway, tiny little bit of a slouch on the back. I don't know if you can see that. And yeah, it's just a nice little, I'll take this off just now. Just a nice little plain marled DC hat. I used a 5.5mm hook for both of them. I meant to use a 5mm hook for this one. God, I've got my hair now. I meant to use a 5mm hook for this one to make it just a little more drapey. And what I picked up was this, because my clover hooks, and I've got another set of hooks as well, the drops ones, which I really like. They both have a yellow handled 5mm hook. This was just like a random cheap one that I've picked up, and this is a 5.5mm. It's also on the floor and it's all the way over there now, so I'm not chasing it. But I accidentally used a 5.5mm hook for this. But it turned out okay, I think. And the hats ended up, like, it's quite dense. Normally I don't make double crochet hats. It's US doubles, UK trebles. I don't normally do that for hats. I normally do like a half double or half treble, but I think it's alright. I like it. And I thought I could do with a hat that's not either like black or dark coloured or bright pink, because that's all the hats I have are either black or they're like a really dark purple or a really dark brown or something, or they're pink. So now we have one with a bit of grey in it as well. And that is it for finishes. The amount of yarn I have left that I've just dropped on the floor. This is how much grey I had left out of the 100 grams. And this is how much pink I have. So they will be going into, I have like a little bag that's got all my, I've got a few little bags that have got my different ends in them, because I'm not one of these people who sticks to one weight of yarn, and I should, but I don't. So I have a bag that's got my like 4-ply wool and wool blends, and I'm turning that into a blanket. And then I've got a DK one, and like a DK acrylic one, I'm turning that into a blanket. I have a few bits of like DK woolly things, but I've not really started doing anything with them yet. So yeah, I don't have it, because I don't use an awful lot of DK wool. Usually if I'm using any kind of wool, it's 4-ply. Anyway, So I think the only other thing that I've got is my sock, which is going to take you about 3 seconds to show. My sock. This just now lives on my desk. I think I was like down here or something last week, so I've done a little bit, but this now just lives on my desk, and when I am playing World of Warcraft, you can tell how much knitting I've done by how much World of Warcraft I've got to play, basically. So I haven't got to play much this week, much to the upset of my boyfriend, because we play together and he's been having to play on his own because I have not had the time or the will or the brain to be able to play games this week. I've done nothing. Right, where are we? 15 minutes, nearly 16 minutes. I think that is everything. Don't really have any major life updates. I don't really have, apart from just like the kids have been ill and my house is still a mess. I need to build a bed. Oh my god, I'm so sick of building furniture. It got to the point, like I grew up building furniture. My dad was a builder. My ex is a carpenter. You know, I've been around building my entire life. And I've always built my own furniture or helped my friend build their furniture. I've always been pretty good at it. And then I got a chest of drawers and I managed to build the carcass of it, and it got to the drawers and I was just like, I can't, my brain just refused to work out how these drawers went together. So when he got here at the weekend and I was like, can you do my drawers for me? It's like, okay. But what he did is he didn't do the man thing where he goes off and just does it. He got me to go with him, and because there's 4 drawers and we built the drawers together, and he like walked me through what I was supposed to do, which was refreshing. And once he explained what I was supposed to be doing, I was like, I can't believe I just couldn't wrap my head around it. Once he explained it, I was fine, but I just could not wrap my head around it at all when I was just reading the instructions. So, oh my goodness. The bed hopefully will be a lot simpler. I've not even taken that out of the box yet, because in here we've got an attic room, and His Royal Highness would like an attic room so he can be above everybody. My 12-year-old. He wants to have the attic room. But they've been sleeping in bunk beds, so I have to buy him a new bed. This moving house business is very expensive. Oh dear. Right, I think that actually is everything now. We're going to go and walk the dog, go to the post office, get the child, and go and buy shoes. And I'm going to come home and make some dinner. I don't know what I'm going to have. See, this is the other thing. I need to start meal planning again, because it's costing me a fortune. Not because of the food I'm having to buy, but because we have a Lidl right across the road, and I tend to just go across and get something for dinner that day, because I keep meaning to meal plan and I don't want to buy loads of stuff if I'm going to be meal planning. So I know it's stupid. So I've been going across there every day, but because I've been going across there every day, it's like, oh, we'll just get this and that's on offer, and we'll just get that and that. And then I end up spending, like, I'm going across to get something for dinner and spending like 30 quid. It's not sustainable. It's not good. So we are going to be meal planning. If anybody has any like good meal planning websites or anything, then let me know. Preferably ones that use UK shops. But you know, I want to do the meal planning, but I also want to like eat more healthily, and I want the kids to eat healthily, and yeah, it all needs to be quite simple at the moment as well. So I'm not asking for much. Oh my god. Right, I'm gonna go. Yeah, I've just waffled for another 5 minutes. We're on 20 minutes now. I'm gonna go. I'll be back on Friday with my floss tube. I will be back hopefully on Sunday and Monday next week, and not Monday and Tuesday. So yeah, have a lovely rest of your week, and I will see you when I see you. Right, bye bye.